Okay, so welcome back to my series on doing what you love. So this week is a super critical one. Don't skip this. It's not going to take that long, but your brain might say, oh, I can't be bothered to do that. This one thing was the breakthrough I had that got me off the path of doing what I hated, feeling trapped, lost, completely without a plan. And I'd been looking for one for 10 years and I still didn't know. And this one thing changed everything for me. So this week's task is really lovely. And if you're doing it at the time of recording, it's at the beginning of the year. So you should find lots of these things about. I want you to go on a hunt around your local area for all of the kind of adult learning options there are. So it doesn't have to just be an adult learning centre. It can be the local canoeing centre. It can be anything. I want you to find out. I literally would like you to make it your number one mission to find out every single workshop, course, one-day event, retreat, anything that is on in either your local area or an area that you would like to visit. Look at it within the budget that you have. It's fine if, we'd all love to take a 2-week retreat somewhere and learn something. But if all you could manage at the moment, and this was my case, when I discovered this and I discovered one thing that I was curious about and that I wanted to try that made no sense. It was £120 for a 12-week course. And at the time, I was a full-time mum with 2 children and our family was a single income family. So it felt like I was spending millions to spend this £120 on a 12-week course, and it changed my life. And not the actual course, but doing this course unlocked what I wanted to do with my life. It unlocked an understanding of what lit me up. So please don't skip this. I want you to go away and do your research. And before you start, it might be really useful to think, what are all those things I've ever said to myself that I wish I could do one day? What are those weird classes I said I would do? I mean, like some of mine in the past have been, I'd love to go back to doing improv, acting where you just improvise. Another one has been I'd love to do gardening. I'd love to actually learn about plants. I've always wanted to do cooking ones, all kinds of creativity ones, yoga retreats. Oh goodness, I have wanted to learn so much. I want to learn how to do creative writing. So first of all, empty your mind of all the things you have ever said that would be fun, and pay particular attention to the things you write down that your brain immediately goes, but that's crazy. Possibly the absolute perfect thing for you. Ignore my alarm, I've got to get my children from school. I'm not going to re-record that because that is just super important, guys. Think about the ones that make you go, nah, that's crazy. I'm too scared. I'd never actually do it. There's no point. It would take me nowhere. This course that I did was a messy drawing course, and I had been told at school when I was about 13 years old that I wasn't allowed to choose art for my GCSEs because I couldn't draw. And then when I got to A-levels and I tried again, I was told, well, you didn't do it for GCSE, so you're not allowed to do it. You physically can't. And it was just like door slammed shut. So by the time I got to my late 20s and noticed in this prospectus, there's a messy drawing class, and my heart feels excited. And I walked past the studio, the workshop that the course would be held in, every week, and it had jam jars full of paintbrushes on the windowsills. And I remembered that feeling of walking past my old art classroom when I was 13 years old and seeing jam jars full of paintbrushes on the windowsills, and my heart shimmering with excitement, but telling myself I'm not good enough, so I can't do that. I'm feeling terrible. When I decided to give myself permission to do the one thing I had been curious about since I was a young teenager, all the doors flew open and I started to get incredible clarity. And then I became an abstract artist. It had nothing to do with the actual course that I did. The course was drawing and crafts. There was really no painting in it, but it unlocked the realization that that's what I really wanted to do. So that is your homework. Go away, write it all down in your journal, and come back next week for more.